Nemi, I'm very interested in this concept of yoga and creativity, and in particular, again, some practical applications. Often we've talked about the need for people to be lifelong learners, responding to changes constantly, and more we're looking at the role of creativity and the significance of individuals' creativity in thriving, not just surviving, but thriving in a world that's constantly changing. Do you see a role for yoga for young people? Teachers work with young people in inspiring creativity, if that's how you can encourage creativity.
Yes, so much. Creativity means, I mean, a person can be creative by their mental power. But if, like Mozart, for example, he was extremely creative. And he didn't have to work at it. It just, everything came to him. So we need to, I mean, to be creative, we need to make ourselves open to that source of creativity. And yoga is about that. Yoga is about letting go of the walls of our individual, bricked-in ego, and letting ourselves open up to grace and love, which is all around us. I mean, the whole universe is an expression of grace and love. And if we open ourselves up to that, and especially if we have specific problems, specific needs. I mean, I have personal experience that I've been working for 30 years on this question of showing how yoga is scientifically valid and how to establish an effective and scientifically, practical expression of the yoga principles. And it started, I was just looking out of a train window and I just had an insight. And I started to work on that. And then after a time, I realized that I would work on something as far as I could. And then I'd say, okay, that's as far as I can go. You have to give me the next step now. And then I'd be taking a shower or whatever, it would come. And then I'd work on that. And then say, okay, I can't go any further. What's the next step? And then it would come. That's one application. Another application, I was talking with Steve, how things come into your life, how people come into your life. Just like Steve actually came into my life. At a point when I'd come up against a brick wall, and he just opened the door, and made way for a next step. And when you're practicing yoga and really making yourself open to facilities from outside, insights from outside, they just come. Everybody, if you talk to my colleagues, they'll confirm that. So many times, you'll see people come into your life, a situation appears, okay, once or twice, but it becomes a way of life. The insights coming become a way of life. The new situations coming become a way of life. Like Carl Jung, actually, he talked about that in his therapy. He gave instances where, I don't remember the exact details, he was working with some particular person, and this beautiful moth flew into the room. And it made a huge difference in that psychotherapy. So he talked about that, synchronicity, how the acausal connecting factor, or library angels, for example, helping people to find the books that they need. So yoga is a way of making yourself open, and it's not just sentimental belief in miracles, it's practical, it works. If you look in the literature, if you look on the internet, so many examples of this.
So it's as much a way of being in the world, in that sense.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yoga is really a way of being. It's not something you do for 10 minutes a day. Actual yoga. Because yoga means meeting. And ultimately, if we want to get the full out of life, then we have to be in contact with the source of life. If you want to live, then you have to be in contact with the source of life. If you want to love, you've got to be in contact with the source of love, in relationship. So actual yoga, it's very much about being as much as possible all the time. That's the aim of our practice.